The morning light poured gently through the windows of James and Diep's modest home, painting the wooden floor in warm golden hues. On any other day, the house would be quiet, broken only by the sound of birds outside or the gentle clatter of kitchenware. But this day was different. The air inside was charged with both excitement and tenderness, as if the very walls of the house were aware of the milestones unfolding within them. This story, the next chapter in the journey of CEO James, his beloved wife Diep, and their daughter Nee, is not just about a family expecting a child. It is about how the smallest gestures, a bowl of rice fed tenderly, a pink backpack carried proudly, a banana harvested under the sun, become the anchors of happiness, proof that love is built not only on grand declarations but also on the quiet rhythm of everyday life. The morning of firsts. James had woken before dawn, his mind restless with preparation. Today was the first day of school for Nee, the little girl who had entered their lives and hearts long before they learned of the new baby growing inside Diep. Nee had risen earlier than usual, her large eyes bright with curiosity and nervous joy. She wriggled into the crisp uniform Diep had ironed the night before, the blue and white fabric making her look even smaller, more fragile, and yet ready for her first big step into the world. On her back bounced a pink backpack, filled with pencils, notebooks, and the dreams her parents had tucked into its pockets. "Daddy, today I'll draw so many beautiful pictures," Nee declared proudly, clutching her pencil case as if it were a treasure chest. James bent down, brushing her hair gently. "I can't wait to see them, sweetheart." His heart swelled, not just with pride, but with the quiet awareness that this moment, her first school day, would never come again. At breakfast, the family sat by a window in a small shop near the school. Nee's chatter filled the air as she nibbled on bread and asked her parents questions about friends she hadn't yet met. Diep, already glowing with maternal instinct, leaned in to wipe crumbs from her daughter's lips, her smile a mixture of tenderness and quiet courage. The walk to school was both joyful and bittersweet. At the gate, Nee's hand clung tightly to her mother's, her small body tensing with hesitation. But as the bell rang, she straightened, bowed to her teachers with the dignity of someone much older, and turned back only once, for one last hug. "Don't forget to pick me up," she whispered earnestly. Neither James nor Diep could speak. They simply held her, each storing away the warmth of her tiny arms, the sound of her voice. For them, Nee's first step into the classroom was also their first step into a new chapter of parenthood, one that demanded more patience, more love, and more courage than ever before. A journey to the hospital. After leaving the school, James steered the car toward the hospital. The road was familiar, yet that morning it seemed endless. Neither spoke much. Their silence was not empty, but full of questions, of hope, of a nervous anticipation too fragile for words. Inside the hospital, the antiseptic air and sterile white lights carried a sense of solemnity. Diep's fingers trembled in James's hand as they waited. When her name was called, James accompanied her into the ultrasound room, unwilling to leave her side. The rhythmic sound of their baby's heartbeat filled the room, steady and strong. James leaned forward, his eyes wide, as though he could memorize every flicker of the screen. Diep lay still, her heart overflowing with emotion. Then came the doctor's words. "Congratulations, it's a boy. He's developing very well." The moment broke them open. Tears of joy streamed down their cheeks as James clasped Diep's hand, holding on as if happiness itself might slip away if he let go. Their fears, their uncertainties, all dissolved in that instant. They were not just husband and wife anymore. They were the parents of 2 children, Nee, the daughter who had already filled their lives with color, and now, a son whose heartbeat promised a new future. A mother's joy. James could not wait. Still in the hospital corridor, he dialed his mother. His voice, usually steady and authoritative in the boardroom, cracked with emotion. "Mom, it's a boy. Both Diep and the baby are healthy." On the other end, his mother's laughter mixed with tears. She had been sitting on the porch sorting vegetables, but the news made her hands tremble. "Heaven has blessed us," she murmured, overwhelmed. "A grandson. And Diep is safe." What more could I ask for? Her joy was not content to stay within her. She rushed to the market, carefully choosing chickens, herbs, and milk for her daughter-in-law. At a clothing stall, she paused, thinking of Nee. Though not her blood granddaughter, Nee had long ago become family. She chose a delicate pink dress and a box of crayons, determined to show the little girl that her place in the family was unshakable. That evening, she placed her hand over Diep's and whispered, "You've been working so hard. Eat well. Let my grandson grow strong. And remember, Nee is still our princess." Diep, moved beyond words, embraced her mother-in-law tightly. She felt blessed to be in a family where love was not divided, but multiplied, among pomelo blossoms. After the hospital, James visited the company's pomelo orchard. The rows of trees stretched endlessly, their branches heavy with fruit. Sunlight filtered through leaves, scattering gold across the earth. There, among the blossoms, he met CEO Hung, a longtime friend and business partner. Hung clasped his hand warmly. "James, I heard the news. A son. Congratulations, my friend." Life has truly blessed you." Their laughter echoed through the orchard as they walked together, discussing exports and harvests before drifting into personal matters. James recounted Nee's first day at school, the ultrasound, the joy on Diep's face. Hung patted his shoulder. "You are a lucky man. A thriving business, a loving family, and now a son." What more could anyone ask for? For James, the orchard that day seemed to mirror his life, fruitful, abundant, full of promise. Behind him was a home brimming with love. Before him, a business growing steadily. Together, they gave him strength to face whatever storms might come. Diep's afternoon. Back home, Diep changed into simple clothes and stepped into the backyard. The banana trees she had nurtured for months now bore heavy golden fruit. She cut a ripe bunch carefully, pride shimmering in her eyes. She imagined the evening ahead. Nee's laughter as she peeled the bananas, James's smile as he watched them, the quiet glow of a family meal. For Diep, these small visions were treasures greater than wealth. Later that day, as the sun dipped low, she hurried to the school gate. Nee spotted her instantly, running with flushed cheeks and a new notebook in hand. "Mommy, the teacher praised my drawing today." Diep knelt, pulling her daughter close. The warmth of Nee's small body in her arms made every fatigue vanish. In that moment, she knew, no matter how many challenges lay ahead, love would always make the journey worthwhile. An evening of simple riches. That night, their small kitchen filled with the aroma of freshly cooked food and ripe bananas. Around the table, Nee chattered about her new friends and her flower drawing, her bright voice filling the room with light. James listened with pride, then shared stories from the orchard, his eyes sparkling as he spoke of a harvest full of promise. Diep, listening to both, felt her heart overflow. They were not rich. They did not have everything. But in their home lived the kind of wealth that cannot be measured: trust, love, and the joy of family. For James, each day ended with renewed purpose. For Diep, every meal was a gift of peace. For Nee, every embrace was the sky of a happy childhood. And for the baby boy still cradled in Diep's womb, the future was already wrapped in love.